Happy Wednesday, everyone. Except you, Steve, in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. I can see what you're doing, and it's sickening. At least don't do it in front of me, and put your poodle in the other room. So you want to see how powerful the media industrial complex is? Watch how they can create something out of nothing, and they get everyone from politicians to reporters to washed-up celebrities buying into it blindly. David Copperfield has nothing on them. I refer to the parental rights bill in Florida. Even righty websites call it controversial, even though the bill is only controversial because the media lied about it. The bill bans instruction of sexual orientation and gender identity in kindergarten through third grade. The only part I found controversial is the third grade part. How about teachers of any grade staying out of your kids' private life, you power-hungry control freaks? Now, like my extra nipples, the bill seems pretty benign to me. Last thing I want to talk to a kindergartner about is gender. The second to last thing I want to do is talk to a kindergartner. And if anyone tried to teach me that stuff when I was that age, it would screw me up. I was still in the process of figuring out the anatomy of Ken and not the doll, the bus driver. But if this bill upsets you, that's on you. You're weird. Seriously, are you really that passionate about kids in kindergarten learning this stuff? That spells creepy with a capital K. Or maybe it's just one big virtue signal ratcheted up by your own intellectual laziness. See, if anyone cared to read the bill, the outrage would die, and they'd have to let go of the lie. So the media couldn't read it, and as long as they don't, they can say it bans the word gay. It's the media's version of a Jussie Smollett hoax. And frankly, making assumptions about something you haven't read isn't just dumb, it could be dangerous.
Alrighty, sir. I didn't get a chance to read your chart just yet, but I did hear someone in the hallway say we have to remove your appendix and your testicles. So let's get those pants off, okay?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a minute. There's no way this chart could say that. Maybe you should read it.
I watched Don Lemon tonight, okay? I think I know what I'm doing.
Wait, and what does he know about this?
Well, we may be doctors, but he's on TV. Grow up.
You do raise a good point. I guess I'll prep the patient now for surgery.
So you've seen "Don't Say Gay" in the headlines because the media won. They pushed the lie knowing their peers were too lazy to check it. They were right. And what happens? You create a mental illness caused by fake news when adults redefine hysteria as entertainment.
Well, we're going to have a great night tonight, and for you people in Florida, we're going to have a gay night. Gay, gay.
Wow, how edgy. Chanting gay in front of a live audience filled with nothing but ultra-liberal Hollywood celebs. What are you going to do next? Feed a Christian to Simba and Mufasa? How about a dance number about raising the minimum wage? So it turns out reading scripts isn't the only time fiction comes out of actors' mouths. They're so pleased with themselves, like driving a Prius to their private jet. But that's what happens in a delusion. You think you're showing the world you're the smart one, when you're anything but. Look at Disney, which claims Governor Ron DeSantis wants to erase gay kids, an odd position from a company whose cruises actually go to countries where homosexuality is indeed erased, where being gay is actually banned. I guess it's just cheaper to virtue signal than act on your principles. Virtue signaling is the only thing that's free at Disney. The magic in Magic Kingdom is how they make $10 disappear in exchange for fountain soda. Then there's actor Ron Perlman, who used to think for himself, but now he's let Twitter run his brain. Apparently that's all he reads, and so here he is going off on the bill.
Don't say gay. Don't say as the first two words in a sentence spoken by a political leader of a state in the United States of America. Don't say. Don't say, you Nazi pig. Say. First Amendment. Read about it. Then run for office. You piece of
Oh, it gets so hot when he gets so bothered. So clearly, that is not a healthy man. That's someone infected with a mind virus that escaped from a Disney lab in Anaheim and spread by the mainstream media. But he too is also a victim, duped by a fiction created purely to suck people like him into a maelstrom of rage and conflict. He's what the media wants. The more Perlmans you get, the more money you make. You addict someone to rage, and he's going to need another fix every day. And with useful idiots like him, Disney won't need Goofy. Maybe it will offset the money they lose on woke movies. Poor Perlman, he used to be in Sons of Anarchy. Now he's just Son of Sam, a guy hearing untruths from his dog Pluto and lost the ability to interpret what's real. All he understands now is free publicity. Now, in case he's watching, and I doubt it, or he wouldn't have fallen for this crap, because this show is like rehab for people hooked on misinformation, the bill bans classroom instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity with children in 3rd grade or younger, or, quote, in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. That's it. The bill doesn't ban the word gay, nor does it ban casual discussions of topics relating to sexual orientation or gender. And teachers, under this bill, they can't teach about being straight either. And that's the only group with no parades. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She's got more grit than a sandpaper factory. Co-host of The Five, Judge Jeanine Pirro. Just like your deadbeat dad, he left the house and he's never coming back. Former GOP Congressman and Fox News contributor Jason Chaffetz. And she's been on more thin ice than Brian Boitano. Fox News contributor Kat Timpf. And his pocket square as a picnic blanket. My massive sidekick in the NWA World Television Champion, Tyrus. Ooh, I'm hyperventilating. That's a quick way to get high, Judge. You can't arrest me for that.
I'll try.
You will. Are you hyperventilating to get buzzed? Let me measure your brain cells, you'll say, and then you'll throw me in the clink. And then you'll cuff me and God.
Oh, who knows what'll happen?
Oh, my God. My brain goes into dark places, Judge. Has Disneyland become the playground for Satan?
Well, the disappointing part of it now is like, to me, Disneyland is a place you take your kids, you take your grandkids, but now they can't say ladies and gentlemen, they can't say boys and girls, they have to say dreamers. And by the way, what is California, the woke people in California, how dare they impose their concepts or their ideas on Florida, which overwhelmingly supports this bill that, and not for 1 second does it say, don't say gay. And I got to tell you, I used to love Sons of Anarchy. Ron Perlman, you just lost me. I can't stand you. You know why? You're stupid. Stupid. To go out there, I don't care how big you are, to go out there and say, you're a piece of Nazi piece of You didn't even read the stupid bill. You're stupid.
I love it. You swore, the judge swore. Oh,
I did?
Yeah, you did. You said
She quoted.
She quoted.
I was quoted, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and you're a piece of too.
Oh, I'm not going to sleep tonight. Jason, didn't Disney, I think, thought that they could use their muscle on DeSantis, and he went ahead and signed the bill anyway. It's kind of ballsy on his part. Well, actually, it's not. He's just doing the right thing.
Ron DeSantis, it's a simple thing. Mm-hmm. And you know what? To suggest that, where are the teachers in all this?
Yeah.
Come on. You're a pervert if you think that teaching a second grader about gender identity is the right way to go. And I'd love to hear them make the counter argument that they should be informing a second grader, here's Spot, here's another Spot, here's Spot on Spot. No, that's not the way I was taught.
That is, I think, why the Don't Say Gay thing was kind of their version of defund the police, except defund the police was actually said. But they were doing that to hang around the Republicans' neck because they didn't want to argue with the bill because it's hard. It's a hard bill to argue against. It's kind of reasonable, Tyrus. You have children.
Yeah, and the idea of a stranger that went to school for 4 years to teach arithmetic or English to talk to my children about sexuality or any other moral dilemma, hell no. It's about the parents. You decided what you talk about in your household. And it's very simple. If my household was affected in terms that we had a family member who was transgender, or we had a situation that directly affected my child, then we would discuss it. But when they get older, just like you used to wait to talk about birds and the bees till you were like 14 and 15, your dad, or in my case, a occasional boyfriend would come by and be like, hey, Tyrus, right? Yeah, sir. And let's talk about the bird. I'll wait. So, but it was the parents' choice. This law should never have had even been put into effect. But because we are allowing this small group, and when you say the people of California, it's not. It was like 3 CEOs and some woke people who have their own issues and are trying to push their thing. And what we're seeing is what we saw with Rogan, what we're seeing with Spotify, we're seeing with other companies, Netflix. When you stand up to them, they go away because they actually have no foundation and no following. There's not a million people standing outside Disney going, change it. It's this group. And if Disney had anything, if right now, Six Flags, Knott's Berry Farm, I would start running commercials. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, come on in.
Bring your kids.
Bring your kids, bring your family, and give an alternative. So you want to go there and put that stuff out there, find another place with roller coasters and rats and ducks with speech impediments to hang out with.
Yes. Kat, have you ever been to Disneyland or Disney World? You don't seem like an amusement park person.
It's fine.
Yeah, you find amusement in, like, I always feel that you can amuse yourself with your brain. I don't need to go on a space mountain when there's so much space inside here. No?
I guess. Did I read the bill for nothing or what?
Yeah.
Okay, well, to be perfectly clear, I am a pervert. I still don't want to talk to kids about sex.
Right.
I don't know why you would, but there are 2 words in the bill that concern me that always do, which is state standards. Those are the ones where I'm always like, okay, because that's not really the parents then. That's the state deciding. And I'm always like concerned about anything that makes a rule for a whole state full of kids. Because all kids are individuals, they have different needs. And it's all vague. We'll have to see how it ends up working out in practice because those state standards are never, they never actually say anything. But yeah, the bill doesn't say gay. It says sexual orientation. So I know all these people are upset. Like if a guy has a picture with his husband on his desk, is that going to make, you'd only get in trouble, I would think, is if also people had pictures with their wives who were guys, because straight is also a sexual orientation, I believe. So, we'll have to see how it shakes out. But I just think in general, less government in the schools, more options for parents.
Yes. Well put. All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.